My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Darkest Dungeon 2. Apologies for the brief intermission between runs here. We are ready for our next one, and that is the Rot Squad. So all of this pretty much has come out of the Leper, and specifically the Leper having Breacher. At combat start, they'll move themselves 3 spaces forward, they'll give themselves 2 stacks of an attack token, 2 stacks of a defense plus token, and 2 stacks of taunt. They do fear fanatics, but I think having the Leper, run themselves to the front of the party, lock themselves there a little bit, as well as be ready to deal more damage to the enemies is gonna put me in a really good position to start off with. Then, we have a second line and fourth line support here. We have our second line being the Flagellant, the Wanderer, who's standing directly next to the Leper. In fact, as I realize now, here in the Rot Squad, the Leper is the only pure one, obviously with leprosy, as one might imagine from the name, and all of the rest threaten to re-inflict the Leper. So the Flagellant is going to be running Acid Rain to give us a little bit more reach to the back line, because that's something that's going to be lacking with the Tempest in the front line, because we otherwise don't have access to Iron Swan from our Hellion. Another ability to give us a little bit more damage on the back line, we've got a Dead Eye Grave Robber here. I could have considered going for Venom Drop in order to try and increase Blight as our way to take out the back lines, but it's entirely possible the back line is not going to be necessarily receptive to Blight as a damage strategy. And as I say that, I reveal Paracelsus, the Plague Doctor, who is exclusively reliant on dealing the Blight damage to the back line. They are also going to be running the Alchemist path, which is the first time that I've run it on them. Negative 20% to their max HP, however, they get plus 33% Blight resistance piercing, and plus 10% crit on all of their Blight causing skills, as well as increased resistances across the board right there. Feeling pretty good about this. Let's click the go button, and then do all of the going. It only seems appropriate.
Onward once again, though all the world's horrors bar the way.
Now, I do have a trinket ready. This is the Strange Sapper. So, apply on hit vulnerability, 15% of the time. On miss, it applies block, 20% of the time. I feel like Audrey could probably hold that pretty happily, but we'll reassess that as time goes on, whether or not it's more useful on a different party member. We've also got Baldwin running the Tempest line, which means Baldwin's chop skills are improved. And by chop skills, I do mean chop and chop plus, the upgrade to chop.
You see, even your valley is not immune to the spreading stain.
It doesn't need to be. Let's just very quickly check into the sluice. Use Thrown Dagger 2 times in a single fight, of course. Pustule Salve. Good. Well, I mean, look, if you want to use Thrown Dagger a couple times in the same fight, let's get that taken control of right now. So we'll blight the hell out of the back line. Knowing that the front line is exclusively going to be attacking the Leper for a period of time here, giving them a little bit of stress, but the Leper is also going to be able to deal with that very, very comfortably with either Reflection later on, or if things get as bad as possible, Solemnity. I don't imagine that's going to happen, though. Dang. Unfortunately missed there.
Are encouraging.
Throw out another dagger. It's also worth noting that the negative here for Audrey, wait, oh, there it is, quirks, is Braggart.
Every victory, real or imagined, recounted for all, time and time again.
Gain on hit 10% chance to gain taunt on hit. Yeah, I guess I'm still comfortable with that character being in my party. Seems like it should be fine. I'm going to take this turn to use Reflection in order to remove my own blindness, as well as my own stress there on the leper in the front line. Perfect. I have to use Poison Dance if I actually want to try and hit the front liner here. And we'll take him out without any of the Blight involved. Just with the initial impact of all of these blighting abilities.
Are you shaken? There is so much worse in store.
Oh, I can only imagine. Those are literally the easiest enemies you have in this game. However, we have completed Audrey's hero goal, so no need to worry about that. Entering the sluice is one.
The fire is lit. The table is set. The inn awaits its favorite guests.
Torch and Crown reduces the chance for us to get any relationships here.
That you may stand just a little taller at the end.
We've got the Fator and the Sprawl. So Thick Mud increases movement resistance by 25% across the board. All of my enemies, as well as all of my characters, I can only imagine. Yeah, I mean, moving my party does suck. A little bit. I wouldn't want it to happen often. Fog of War, avoid the Watchtower in order to gain 3 Candles of Hope, or we could go for Outposts. Also 100% Creature Dens and Oases and Field Hospitals. Oh, I do like the idea of trying to get rid of some of these negatives. Braggart in particular. Goal, keep the flame at 40+. I would be able to...
Spend what you can, or wealth no longer has meaning.
I would be able to try and set myself up for that.
Indeed it ever did.
But I did say in the last episode that if I ran into a position where I had the Radiant Flame to take again, I would take it. So I'll be taking it here. I'm also going to be taking the Orphan Wolf Pet Cub, because it's the only pet I currently have access to. There is a pot and still here for producing whiskey items, chance to stack whiskey by 4. Sorry, increases stacking by whiskey. 4 whiskey by 4 per stack. There we go. Managed the full sentence that time. Let's make sure we take both Glimmers of Hope. Do I have... No, I don't have any pustule item. That is what the Plague Doctor wants to provide to people at the moment. Let's go with the Pot and Still. Pot and Still is not a luxury item. None of these are luxury items. Okay, cool. So if I had have been able to pick up luxury items, I could have tried to give myself some stress resist per luxury gear equipped, courtesy of the Wolf Cub.
Your coach must be maintained if it is to carry you where you must go.
We've got, from the Radiant Flame, 25% extra max HP, 15% extra Resolute chance, 10% extra Death Blow resistance, 33% extra Traveling Heal, 25% extra Stress resistance, negative 25% to the Traveling Flame Drain. So I think between the, 1/4 less Flame Drain and the fact that we picked up 2 Glimmers of Hope, we should be able to complete the mission on the left-hand side here in the Fator.
Rain, fire, and rot. Is there no sanctuary from this madness?
And I do like the idea of going to the Fator and then trying to take out a Creature Den in order to try and gain some of the bonuses. They give you little parts that you hand in at the next inn, and in doing so, you gain for yourself more mastery. So if I'm going to the Fator, do I know what I need to prepare for in the Fator yet? I mean, Ounce of Prevention giving us the possibility of avoiding some additional burns and bleeds. Probably not burns as much as bleeds and blights in this area. Seems like that could be relatively useful. Some stress management. I mean, I really don't want to do the narrow stress management option here, which is just Audrey. just increasing Dead of Night to such a degree that she actually gives herself some stress reduction. I think that's like a later upgrade. I don't feel like I'm going to be getting my Blight through on enemies consistently here, so maybe I need to increase the damage numbers on something. Thrown Dagger makes a bunch of sense there as one of those. I almost want to take Flashing Daggers as another. Maybe I take Flashing Daggers first. My damage projection to the backline is really bad. Okay, so it's one of the damage abilities from Audrey, I think, and is one of the damage abilities from... I need to remember the leper's name. Baldwin the leper. Speaking of one of the damage abilities for the leper, it's got to be Chop. And then one of the damage abilities for Audrey, you know what, I will go with the Thrown Dagger. The backliner is oftentimes the most threatening unit on the field. Another reason to want to go for the Fater here is because we do have a decent amount of relics, and I would actually be able to possibly hit a field hospital, in doing so clearing some stuff off my units. Combat item only has one target, unfortunately. Toxic Ichor. Target a party in order to reduce their resistances for 3 turns. You know what? I'm going to take 2 stacks of that. That's going to give me the ability to target an entire enemy team with effectively the free action of Paracelsus, the item interaction, and in doing so, possibly remove all of their dodge tokens. That's my hope. Even if it avoids actually giving them the effect, removing all of their dodge tokens is super useful. Time to go to the
Fator.
Fator.
Fields of our kingdom, overrun with putrescence and rot.
Well, yeah, didn't expect there to be a relationship there.
The rancid crop grows unchecked and abhorrent.
Intriguing. So, all but one of you want to go to the unknown. That would put us on a deadline with a question mark, as well as a rough patch for wheels. An unknown, a couple more unknowns, and then a hazard. A hero's shrine leads into the lair. Unfortunately, this is also putting me completely on the opposite side from the creature den and the hospital. I could cut back over, avoiding a hero shrine and a lair, in order to get the creature den in the hospital, which I think is probably going to be our play.
The academic study.
Some trinkets, please. We can get alcohol, which is a item for the wagon?
I don't know. My kingdom was home to the finest vineyards,
Says Baldwin. They've become a bon vivant. And they've also picked up some wine. This is an in item for 2 targets, -3 stress, and +2 relationship. I get 4 of those. That seems good. More than happy to have it. No trinkets, baubles, says Damien. No, not in this one, unfortunately, but they will be in the future. Hang on. Is that... Wait.
We must
Oh, no,
understand the past if we are ever to be free of it.
Wait, this is not the hero shrine that I saw on the map initially. So no, I have not failed to go down the path that I'd intended. However, one of you needs an upgrade much more than the rest of you. I think it's the leper. I'd like to have the ability to hit 2 targets at the same time with a hue of some kind.
Leper. Chapter 1. Shun them not.
They know not what they do.
Despite the protestations of his royal advisors, he would visit with the sick and dying, providing them what comfort he could.
Out of my way! I move to the very front. The boorish interjection has given me stress, and I respond with an embrace. I give myself -10 stress, and I move to the very back by hugging this supplicant.
Uncouth occlusion?
It is the Sovereign's duty to care for all of his... Hey, this is like one of the positions where I am most in favor of the hero here. Absolutely. Okay, Royal Stride will reduce my stress by 4, as well as move me forward by 2. If I don't remove my stress at the moment, I imagine I'm not going to make it much further.
How dare they boorishly interject with their uncouth occlusions?
Conclusions? I think it was, actually. Negative stress, move to the very front of the party. You know, it is actually a little, maybe I'm gonna have to use additional abilities here. There we go. Second one down. Maybe I'm actually gonna have to stun all of my friends. Come on, can you wail at any of the rest of them? They're the ones not helping you. Out of my way would move me to the front. Unfortunately, I feel like it would reveal me to much incoming stress. I'm gonna stun everyone a bunch. So I could move to the very front of the party, and then the 3 of them get to act. So if all 3 of them give me 2 stress, and then before I go, the supplicant goes and gives me stress, then I would be in trouble. I don't think all of them will give me 2 stress. Oh, never mind, I got moved back 1 space. That's all that needed to happen there, unfortunately. I'm gonna move myself forward and de-stress. I guess I just need to act earlier than any of my courtiers, my viziers here. And we do indeed. We embrace the final person who spreads the disease of leprosy to Baldwin, thus minting the leper.
Were far less repulsive to him than the venomous whispers of his scoffing entourage.
Legitimately fair. Break. This is melee from the front 2 slots to the enemy's front 2 slots. Does a reasonable amount of damage. Ignores block. On self, it gives 75% chance to give blindness, and on target, it removes their block. Neat. Sunder their armor. Any opinions from the squad? None such. Okay, so if I recall correctly, this is where I want to take my left in order to avoid the lair. As much as I did feel like an early lair recently was actually pretty good for us. And I think it was in the Fader as well. It was the Harvest Child, right? I just feel like going to the field hospital and fixing up, shoring up rather our party a little bit before going into the next area and taking more risks might be more appropriate for us.
An oasis.
Yeah, I definitely don't need the negative stress for all of the team. Although, it's the bon vivant in Baldwin that says, let's shed these layers and have a night to remember. Go for a little skinny dipping, buddy. Audrey, pity we haven't the luxury of time, so we will get some torch, as well as some combat items.
Or forgotten. It is ours now.
in the mineral-rich spring water. We get 3 of them. They give a single target 10% max HP, as well as -3 stress. Let's give those to Audrey for the moment. If nothing else, it frees up another slot. Oh, I'm so glad everyone wants to go to the hospital. I know one of you needs to go to the hospital, in fact.
If you hope to heal, you have chosen wisely.
I don't think I will have chosen wisely if I have chosen to heal. Everyone's on full health. Unless you consider it still
fallen, and knows she'll join them soon enough.
to be healing if I am removing a negative.
Thrilled to the succulent flavor that grows up from some nightmare pit far beneath the earth.
Alright, definitely need to get rid of this bracket. I don't want to affect our relationship chances at all, and I definitely don't want the grave robber taking direct hits. I think I honestly just want to remove the rest of these negatives.
We need not be defined by our shortcomings.
Hydrophobic, no greater terror than cool, refreshing water. I'm surprised you didn't freak out at the oasis, buddy.
Even the worst habits can be overcome.
That's the Darkest Dungeon Panic at the Disco cover band. Freak out at the oasis. Let's head along. There we go. I could even cut back into the lair if I desperately wanted to. Creature den or lair? So we get loathing by going left, which we know that we can at least clear up in the creature den, if not then in the Oblivion's Rampart. I think I'm probably better off on this path. Unfortunately, Baldwin does not agree. Or at least Baldwin doesn't think they're going to be better off on this path. Whoa!
Loathing festers.
Immediate second trigger of the loathing. Okay, now I am suddenly a little more worried. I didn't think I had one to begin with, actually.
The Wainwright awaits, eager to ply his trade.
Oh, wow. Corrupting Cleaver. We have plus 25% Blight piercing resist piercing rather. However, if we're diseased, we have lower stun resist. That's really good. Just immediately drop that on the Flagellant, who's now going to be connecting with pretty much all of their Blights. Also going to throw some bandages on them for safekeeping. We do have a medical equipment for plus 20% to traveling heals, as well as some anti-venom and clotting poultice for later.
Consider all variables, but do it quickly.
Immediately done, no problem whatsoever. I'm going to the path I'd already agreed to go on.
Ahead, a bestial refuge, littered with bones and less identifiable remains.
Oh yeah. That's what we're looking for.
Alright. Just immediately kill the urchin. One shot, one kill. Let's light up the... Wow! Actually, Widow... I only have to let the Widow get one single action here. I can probably try and prevent her from using that action, hit her with Punish, but I'm just gonna get a head start on the next enemy. Oh. Rude. It's certainly time for some reflection. A little bit of stress reduction. It's worth noting no one that the leper could actually reach there was a useful target to be striking, unfortunately. There we go. I think all of you are now dying to your blights. Lost Soul, the other Lost Soul. Yep, both of you are. Unfortunately, Damien's Endure is 2 stress to self and -2 stress to target. Not take up to 2 stress from the target and put it on yourself. Which is to say, if I use it on anyone right now, I'm just increasing the amount of stress on the field. There you go, just strike the enemy.
The enemy weakens and wanes.
No one's above 3 for their stress at all. So as far as I'm concerned, we're doing well. Not to say that there have been many chances for the opposition to take us down thus far, at least.
Sharpen your blades, that we may properly excise our portion.
Oh, wow. Damien and Audrey both want to run away. Absolutely not. We're gonna hurt our relationship with each of them, noting that we do have whiskey to help us fix that back up. The enemy advantage managed to shuffle 2 of my team members. Barely. I'm going to use Acid Rain to try and get rid of some of these dodge tokens on the backliners. Plague Grenade for the same. Managed to even get a Blight on each of them. Neat.
Measure out your
Please don't
violence
stun.
and apply it judiciously.
Alright! Leper still gets to attack. Woo! That's what I wanted to see. Dumb! 26! Oh! Good lord! Okay. 6 damage on the spitter in the backline guarantees a kill there. Get webbed on our own backline in return. Unfortunately, Punish doesn't have the ability to reach their line 3, so I'm going to use Acid Rain here. Connecting with a death blow, as well as confirming the death of the other webber. Let's see if I can actually get a blind on this guy. I can! Wait, he would have only had 7% resist, as I realize now. Also, he didn't eat a corpse! What? That's not what you do! Pop an ounce of prevention here.
Empowered.
Worth a pound of cure right here. Especially where the enemies spawn directly over the top.
Bravo.
Throw an Acid Rain. I do feel like I could probably at this point drop a withstand on him. Get myself some buffs. Significantly higher resistances, as well as some block and some taunt. Nice. Looks like I'll actually manage to control the spiders in this fight reasonably, rather than watching as they crit one of my team to death. One final Acid Rain is going to miss both of the targets. Unfortunately, it's still going to cause me to deal damage myself, and I'm still going to take a crit from the enemy. Ah! Never mind, I spoke too soon. Let's increase the light so that I continue to make our mission. Spitter, another spitter in the back line, that one. I don't really do much about you. Let's start working on one of these Devourers. You got a bunch of tokens on you, I gotta take them away. Split some damage to get rid of the token, as well as... Not put the final spitter on low enough health to die to its blight, unfortunately. I don't know, but maybe it's still good enough. Damien, you can use Lash's gift for a heal on yourself of 25%. Not to increase someone's stress, but you can also increase their damage and give them a block token, so... Seems reasonable from your perspective, buddy. And I'm gonna have Paracelsus confirm that the spitter doesn't get another action here.
The smallest variable can make all the difference.
Don't love the guaranteed upcoming crit on this bad boy in the front there. I could clear some corpses on the field. No, I'm just gonna chop your friend for 16 damage. Certainly don't want to see any corpses consumed here. Managed to pop that target down to death's door. I believe the next hit will just kill it, guaranteed. Let's do that. Oh, with a crit, no doubt.
Impediment cleared with impunity.
Yeah, the deepest unfortunate thing here is that this Carrion Devourer cannot really be prevented or messed with in much of any way by almost any of my targets. I don't really have targeted debuffs for the enemy as much. Our debuffs are very much lose all of your HP. Exclusively. We did manage to blight the enemy there at least. Solid crunch! How dare you? Headshot. Managed to resist any additional blindness there. I could use Endure. No. Yes, please continue with your blighting, Damien. Destroy one of these corpses. Let's have Paracelsus heal themselves up as well as cure their bleed. And now I'm gonna elect to withstand one more time in order to force a taunt out on the target. Yeah, this is what we want to see. Okay. Heal Damien. Back up. Throw the poison dart, and now we have a confirmed Death's Door activation here soon. Damien, I don't think you need to take the stress from the other character that lives at the moment. The reason for that is because I don't have the ability to actually heavily reduce...
A spark.
Ooh. I don't have the ability to heavily reduce stress on a single character, something that I might have with the Jester in the party. But I do have the ability to remove stress directly from the leper, so I may as well let them deal with their own. We
Whispers.
pick up a deliverable for Congealed Slime to the next inn. That will give us a mastery as well as -3 stress to the entire party. Got a reasonable amount of positive relationship triggers. I think a couple of you are in the realm of 14-ish.
We are exposed.
Ooh. Any more armor is going to be a problem. I don't believe there's another opportunity for it before the end. Ooh, there is one more opportunity right before the very end.
Oblivion's Rampart.
Oblivion's Rampart's probably one of the easiest positions to look at the enemy's back two lines and go, these need to be dealt with. I'm very glad to have a party that's ready to blight the absolute heck out of those two slots. Unfortunately, they also acted very slow. Absolutely rolling up the blight on them.
Steady
Oi!
yourself.
What's with all these crits? Hey! Oh, what are you doing? I'm gonna hit one more torch. And just roll Withstand on our leper while I continue to finish off the backliners. One down. Oi! That's your third crit this fight, buddy, and none of you had crit tokens. Hold your fire! I'm gonna use a mineral-rich spring water on Damien here. Some healing. Wait, actually, that'll give you 6 more health, taking you up to 31, which is still below half. Excellent. So I'll still have the ability to clear you with Paracelsus. Yeah, I have to clear that. It's too much damage. Unfortunately, Paracelsus is going to kind of have to quote-unquote waste an action here in order to make sure the altar goes down before it gets another.
Nocturnal Commune.
Not on low enough health to use Solemnity. And I miss my attack. And unfortunately, despite... What are your resistances for debuff? Yeah, despite 53 on the resist, I still managed to get my blindness. Rude. I have so much stress recovery when I actually get to the inn that I don't want to overspend my mineral-rich spring water. That feels like such a good resource. Like an unnervingly good resource.
A deliberate and methodical appliance of harm.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to Baldwin getting the absolute heck crit out of them. I'm gonna use some... yeah, I'm gonna use some bandages on Baldwin.
This wound, at least, has been tended to.
Prevent their bleeding, as well as heal them up by 10%. It feels like if the enemy manages to crit, they're probably gonna connect with, yeah, the DOT that they want to put through anyway, so an ounce of prevention there didn't feel like it was gonna be especially useful. Solemnity would be a great way to end this fight for us, though. Oh, I really wanted that damage. Alright. He's got this one down to death's door. You're doing a Nocturnal Commune, which is a hilarious move to make when you no longer have any death blow resistance, and you are currently dying.
The enemy weakens and
Oh, I gave a crit token. Hey! That's Solemnity, baby! Wait, hang on. If I use Battlefield Medic... Yeah, that takes you over the line, and unfortunately Solemnity is no longer useful. I'm gonna... heal the other character next to you, and then... critical Solemnity! Oh! It could scarcely be going better.
an unavoidable end.
Wow, even Baldwin acts before they're evangelists. Get them down to death's door, and then we can watch them both.
A steady subtraction, an invariable result.
Just pop like balloons.
An inkling of potency still lingers in some of these well-worn relics.
Dark Impulse. Unlocks the potential of cultist trinkets, plus 50% to bleed resistance. However, if you're bleeding, gain 1 stress at the start of your turn. We also have a heat shield for lower blight resistance, but higher burn resistance.
The loathing abates.
For the moment it does. I feel like Audrey, if I increase your bleed resistance to 80, And you do have a way to manage your own stress later on with Dead of Night. That should be a pretty good position for that trinket. Let's put a heat shield on the Tempests. Well, that would pretty much guarantee that you take blights every time. Let's use that on Damien, the Flagellant, in order to spread out their resistances a little better. Come on, don't destroy my wheels! Oh, actually, destroy the wheels. The wheels are fine, just not the casing. Never mind. Hang on. Oh, it turns out there was nothing there. I believe there was an icon there earlier, though, so it's just that it turned out to be nothing after being
The
scouted.
roaring heart does much for the weary body. Even more, perhaps, for the restless soul.
Oh no.
Damien has gained light sensitive. At combat start, they become weak 2 times if the flame is too high. And we've got Audrey with Shroud Scrounger, knows where to find resources in the Shroud. Damien's completed hero objective. I think that's like a... Yeah, only 2 of our hero objectives left. Which, never mind, that means Damien did that very, very early on. Pretty much as soon as I went to the field hospital, because that was their quest. Extra bleed resist to a character that is often in the front line and often forcing enemies to hit them. Oh, no stress for the entire party. Also, the river's song to the banks of the beautiful river Wahoo. It heals you to 50% and gives -3 to stress. We also have -3 to stress from congealed slime delivery. Unfortunately, this means the wine, this in-item with a positive relationship for people, is not really necessary right now. In a way that makes me discomfortable. I want to fix unfriendly relationships, and our alchemist is currently unfriendly with everyone. Also,
Each improvement, a new variable in the equation of your fate.
my button still did nothing. Chance to produce whiskey items, my butt. Let's get some
This
medical
will serve
equipment, though.
well.
A food barrels. If food in your inventory is equal to or greater than 10, you have plus 10% to resolute chance, increases stacking by 4 per stack. It's also Crow's Nest for extra location scouting, movement resistance. Oh, luxury gear! Random hero after each location gets -1 stress. I would love that. Absolutely can't afford it. But it'd be good if I could. But I can't, so I won't. Savvy? Any of the rest of these important or worth my while?
The means of mastery.
I suspect most important right now is plotting pulses on Baldwin, and then using some wine to repair Paracelsus's relationships with everyone. Excellent. Paracelsus is absolutely on his her last legs, going out into the next area. Absolutely legless. Let's get some anti-venom on the Tempest, and I think we're now at the point where I just need to select my...
Every road a winding torment. Every turn bent on our destruction.
So trade route. Plus 100% to Hoarder location scouting. I don't have that many trinkets and baubles really to trade to a Hoarder for everything. Also, we only get the gold from this region if we have no stagecoach item equipped. I don't want to do that. However, the other choice for us would be Fog of War. Avoid the Watchtower, and we'll get the Surgeon's Table. We've seen this do nothing in the past, but in theory, it is sick. Or isn't. Untouched, -33% to Flame Drain. That on top of our already -25% to Flame Drain makes me feel like we're going to have a much sunnier time over in the Shroud. I feel like the Shroud is probably already our choice here.
The plating is patched. The coach stands ready once more.
Plate the hell out of the vehicle there. Are there many block tokens that I'm going to have to deal with in the next area? Not especially, no. I don't really think I need to increase the power of withstand as much, maybe. Acid Rain? Am I looking for additional damage to backliners, or am I looking for additional management here? I think I'm looking for additional management here, so I want 2 of my tools to be stress recovery tools. Let's get Audrey Dead of Night. Let's get Damien Endure upgraded. And now I need to figure out 2 more. So health upkeep, I think, is something really important that I haven't really had to deal with that much yet. So Lash's Gift, the ability to heal self by 35%, as well as give a target the block plus token, the attack token, 1 stress, and remove stun and daze. That seems like a really, really good way to guarantee the leper. Lash's Gift is a great upgrade there. The leper's attack ability is already upgraded. I think I should probably get an upgrade from one of Paracelsus's abilities as well. Let's go with Plague Grenade, so that I can manage the back line a little bit better. Selecting the Shroud.
Coast, isolated and drowning in amphibious degeneracy.
I should take
Conventional
one
fare, but fairly priced.
additional second to try and figure out if there's anything else here that I desperately want. So a smoke bomb for blinding a target. Some medicinal herbs there. A burn salve. Laudanum? Maybe? Glimmer of hope. I feel like I don't want the additional flame. Laudanum, though. Do I have anyone who's currently not holding on to a thing in particular? No. However, I know I can take at least 1 more bandage and just put that already on Damien's current stack. I think that's already good enough for me. Let's head out to the Shroud. We shouldn't get any positive relationships, we shouldn't get any negative ones. Never mind, we have a relationship.
Tried and tested. A bond to be counted on.
Break. Which, did I have that tagged? Can you do that to a skill I don't have tagged? Strange. Break will give a dodge plus token to Audrey, and Audrey killing a corpse will give her 2 stacks of stealth and give Baldwin, our leper, a dodge plus token. For the moment, though, my name's Rhapsody, the name of the game? Well, you better believe that's been Darkest Dungeon 2. Top left is a series playlist for all the content in this game, past, present, and future. YouTube recommendation is down below, streaming past in the names of the people so journalists supporting Republic of Patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays, out above the thank you, and a special thanks this episode to John. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.